Hi, everyone. It's Carolyn Moor with Modern Widows Club, and it is January 2022, and we have a new topic for you. It is called Finding Your Leader Within. This month's topic actually falls under the pillar of healthy widowhood for emotional and mental health. Okay, so finding and developing the inner leader within is a process that we each experience in widowhood. Let me reassure you that every person has one, okay? Um, every person watching this video has a leader within themselves, yes. And each of us has our own unique style. So in widowhood, leading your life takes on a whole new dimension because you are now doing what two were accustomed to accomplishing in the past, which requires diligence, mental fortitude, and a bigger toolkit of skills. As we develop our strength and courage and empowerment, the best course of action is both moving forward and reaching back to lift another person up. I learned this from Dr. Stephen Southwick. He authored the book Resilience, the Science of Mastering Life's Greatest Challenges. And his 25 plus years of resilient science research shows that both giving and receiving social support is a key component of building your own natural resilience. This is how the best leaders in the world are created. Giving and receiving, this is the cycle of the greatest mentors, right? By sharing what we have learned and by befriending another with a genuine mentoring spirit, there is invaluable knowledge that is shared that enables that person to have a hand up in their own future circumstances. It's actually pretty miraculous. So here are three key points I'd like to share with you this month. The first one is challenges come into our life to teach us something. It's the only reason why we are so passionate about figuring all this stuff out. We need to be able to apply what we have learned in our lives and then create a new result. We are meant to put our wisdom into practice. Challenges are key opportunities to teach us more than what we've ever known before. If you want to be a great friend or a mentor or a leader, be a fig. I know you weren't expecting me to say that, but yes, be a fig. Why? Nothing important comes to us overnight. Okay, figs need time to ripen. If you say you want to be a fig now, I would tell you to just be patient. Okay, first we must allow the tree to flower and then put forth fruit. That was a tongue twister. Then you have to wait until the fruit is ripe. So if the fruit of a fig tree is not brought to maturity instantly in nature, how can we really expect the human mind and heart to come to fruition so quickly and easily? Time, blossom, bearing fruit, and then ripen. That is the hope, heal, grow, lead process that we share here all the time at MWC. It's what we know works from studying thousands of widows just like you over the last 10 years. We can trust that data. Now, the third one is tiny improvements are incremental optimism. I learned this from a gentleman named Brian Johnson. He said, celebrating these means the magic happens in that incremental optimism, aggregated and compounded over time. We can't just snap our fingers and optimize overnight. No great thing is created suddenly. So when I read that, because I'm a designer, I'm an interior designer, and sometimes everything I do kind of relates to that world. And it made me think of the concept of terrazzo flooring. And I don't know if you've ever heard of terrazzo flooring, but it's made of composite materials like chips of marble and quartz and granite and glass. And then it's poured together in a cementous binding agent, and then it creates a solid surface. It's one of the strongest flooring applications that can be traced back to ancient times. But what about modern times? Well, you might recognize terrazzo in this photo. Hollywood's Walk of Fame is one of the most famous terrazzo applications because they needed it to last to hold all those stars. The biggest threat to terrazzo is cracking, but good news, it can be repolished and repaired, just like you. So I hope you will take these 3 points in and consider that challenges are here to teach us to be like a fig and have patience, and to be like terrazzo. Even though you may feel like you're being trampled upon, instead, be a star. And even if you crack, you can come back even better. So the whole month of January is National Mentoring Month in the United States. And what I've learned about that is that we all have something valuable to share. We all play a role in reducing another person's struggle. And we also assist them in building up their own resilience, strength, and wisdom. Let's focus on all the ways we can give back and uplift someone else in this MWC community. Widow mentoring is so important to empower widows to thrive along their journey. Mentoring increases both emotional and mental aptitude. So when we learn and we pass it along, it's building resilience in both directions. So it's easy as sharing a small aha, a resource, a learned experience, an article, a website that has made the difference. That's all it is. You may be the blessing that someone else is looking for right now. Okay, so your time together mentoring and encouraging and being that leader is what is needed today. Okay, you got this. Okay, so every month, starting last year and going into this year, every month we focus a legendary widow role model. Okay, so this month it's Harriet Tubman. Now, Harriet Tubman was born in 1822. She passed away in 1913, and she was an American political activist, really. She was born into slavery. She and her brothers escaped in 1847, and Tubman subsequently made like 13 missions of rescue, saving approximately 70 enslaved people, including her family and friends. She used a network of anti-slavery activists in safe houses known as the Underground Railroad. And in her later years, Tubman was an activist in the movement of women's suffrage. Now, Tubman was a two-time widow, ladies, in her lifetime. We don't know much about her first husband, but her second husband, Nelson Davis, died of tuberculosis in 1888. Gosh, that means that she actually was widowed for over 30 years. So throughout the late 1800s, Tubman spoke out in favor of women's voting rights. She talked about her actions during and after the Civil War and highlighted the sacrifices for women throughout modern history to illustrate women's equality to men. Tubman, a diligent, exemplary example of widow advocacy, fought for women's rights and widows' rights at a time when it was not even acknowledged as such. Yeah, that's a trailblazer. When asked if she believed women ought to have the right to vote, she replied, "I suffered enough to believe it." Tubman continued to be active in women's suffrage movements until illness overtook her. As she'd aged, effects from her childhood head traumas began. Her beatings constantly plagued her. And by 1911, she was so frail that she was admitted into a rest home named in her honor. Surrounded by friends and family, she died of pneumonia on March 10th, 1913, not living to see the passing by the US Congress in June 1919 of the 19th Amendment, granting women the right to vote. Tubman was buried with semi-military honors in Fort Hill Cemetery in Auburn, New York. And in 2021, under the current administration, the United States Treasury Department resumed its efforts to add Tubman's portrait to the front of the $20 bill. We may once again see Tubman make history as the first African-American woman to be featured on US paper currency. Tubman's life story has been featured in books and theater and opera and literature and visual arts and film, including Harriet, starring actress Cynthia Erivo, and also the NBC miniseries A Woman Called Moses, starring Cicely Tyson. Now, Tubman is a key figure in the National Women's History Museum and is the recipient of numerous monuments, memorials, honors, and commemorations. Harriet Tubman is an American icon. What a beautiful, resilient, strong, wise, and empowered widow advocate. We need more women and advocates like her in the world. I love this quote by her. Every great dream begins with a dreamer. Always remember, you have within you the strength, the patience, and the passion to reach for the stars, to change the world. So what a beautiful quote to end this topic this month. Now, I have a few announcements for MWC. Registration is open for our 2022 Widow Empowerment event, virtual event, coming on Saturday, May 14th. It's a whole day of speakers educating and uplifting our widow community on healthy topics relevant for you. I look forward to sharing all the greatness and all the great resources to come, but you can register for that now, okay? Now, our January MWC book club is Reading Lemons on Friday by Maddie Jackson Seligman, and January MWC Art Club is provided again by the Art Therapy Institute. Now, our MWC Travel Club has many new travel opportunities, so go take a look at that and sign up for that community. If you're ready to learn from others on how to date again and possibly find new love, you can check out our popular MWC Dating Club this month. Now, look for my ever popular January Coach-a-thon. We're going to continue those into 2022. To get used to saying that. And our first one of the year is going to be on January 18th. So be looking for that. So there are so many great ways to connect with MWC and to walk this healthy widow pathway this month. So be the leader I know you are and connect. Go on over to modernwidowsclub.org and see all the things we have to offer for you. I hope that you will plug in. Thank you to all of our community advocates. I look forward to all the new programs that we have and just sending you so much love, okay? I'll see you in February and online.